How's it going, everybody? It is iVisual. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus a LaFleur over here in the UU tier. So if you do enjoy these every single day, make sure to leave a like on the video, and the team I'm using is in the description if you do want to try it out. It is made by HT. It's a very interesting team with eject button Chestnut, so that when you can bait in Scizors to maybe attack you, you can switch in your Chestnut, eject button out, and then go into your Magneton and trap them with Magnet Pull, and then go for the Hidden Power Fire and hopefully knock them out. So yeah, we lead off with Mega Aerodactyl. He leads off with the Darmanitan. I go for Pursuit because I thought he'd go for the U-turn, but he actually goes for Flare Blitz, and that is a 2-shot Mega Aerodactyl, so I get the heck on out of there. I made the prediction wrong right there. I didn't expect him to go for Flare Blitz, so I go into my Intimidate Krookodile, able to take the Flare Blitz after Intimidate, and then I can pivot into Reuniclus afterwards, but he gets a critical hit and down goes Krookodile, so that is terrible for me losing Krookodile because it actually did pretty nice work versus LaFleur's team with knockoff. But still got to pull through because I do have a Blissey, and Blissey, looking at their team, if I can get some hazards up, it's just going to go in, just walling everything. And Darmanitan is pretty low, so that's looking pretty good. So I go for cover, just not a chance he wanted to Flare Blitz my Reuniclus, but he makes a safe play going into Moongus, even though it's kind of not safe because I could have Psychicked, but either way, he probably would have taken it because Moongus is so fast. So he went for the Spore as I brought in Blissey. Blissey has Natural Cure, so I'm able to just heal my Blissey status whenever I switch out. So I go to Chestnut on the Scizor because this is where I want it to attack me, and then I can go into Magneton. But he goes for Swords Dance, and then Swords Dances again. I go for Spike because I thought he would just, maybe switch out or maybe just attack me most likely so that I can get the eject button and then go into Magneton. But luckily, Chestnut that I'm running has Roar, and I'm able to roar him as he goes for another Swords Dance. Luckily, he did not go for a Bullet Punch or a U-turn or whatever he had. So, dodged a bullet right there, literally bullet punch. So, I roar him into Moongus. He takes a little Spike Chip, and I just go back to the Blissey. And Moongus can't really do much else to me since I do have the ability Bulletproof. I'm immune to Sludge Bomb. It could Hidden Power Fire me if it does have that, but I just go into Blissey because it literally just walls the crap out of Moongus. Really, I could just Seismitoss all day. And he's forced to Spore me, and it's also a nice Spore fodder since I really don't want to Heal Bell anything since Blissey does have Heal Bell, and I don't want to sack any Pokemon to the Spore because it could come in crucial versus LaFleur's team. So as you can see, I do have a Blissey on this team, and it's going to be a long battle. You'll probably see on the title longest battle because it is, I think, one of the longest Wi-Fi battles I've done. It really came down to literally 1 minute, I think. But don't worry, it didn't come down to the wire where, nobody knocked each other out. We actually brought it to where a Pokemon faints and then there's no Pokemon left, so that's pretty good. There is an ending to it, but it's very, very long, so buckle your seatbelts because we're in for a bumpy ride. Anyways, in came Lottie. I go into Reuniclus because I felt like Lottie would probably go for like a Trick or a Side Shock, something like that to hit Blissey harder, but he goes for the Dragonium Z and Defog, so I was like, oh crap, I just lost my Reuniclus, which just kind of won the game versus him, honestly. I Calm Mind up. I have Fighting MZ, so I can't get tricked. I blow back Umbreon with Fighting MZ Focus Blast, and I just Calm Mind up. So I probably should have scouted for Dragonium Z Lottie. I just really thought he would be like Scarf or something like that, or trick me, since he brought it in on Blissey. I didn't think he would be Dragonium Z with Defog, so that really caught me off guard. So I go for Seismitoss. I probably should have just tried to go for a Toxic on Lottie always, because if he doesn't have Heal Bell, then Toxicking it is the smartest play. So I don't have to waste Seismitosses, because Seismitoss, even though I do have a lot of PP, it's gonna come down to the wire with Seismitoss because Amoonguss can literally just regenerate all its HP back, and it just comes in, spores me, switches out. So it's gonna be a little bit annoying to break through Amoonguss with my Blissey. So at least it can't do much back to me, but it's still gonna be annoying. I go back into Chestnut as he brought in Scizor because, like I said, eject button, I want him to touch me so I can go into Magneton, trap the Scizor, hit it with the Hidden Power Fire, and blow it back. Now it could be iffy if you run into a Scarf Scizor because they might, I don't know, randomly lock themselves into superpower, but if they do that, I mean, they're -1 attack, and maybe we could live that, and then still knock them out. So, yeah, he knocks my Chestnut with a Bullet Punch at +2, but it is not enough to save this Scizor because, Magnet Pull, Choice Specs is going to blow that thing back. So, got rid of Scizor, which is the biggest threat versus my team because it's the easiest thing to just break through my team. He could literally just keep on Swords Dancing and, U-turn if he had that. Either way, he brought in Mega Pidgeot. I go to Blissey, and Blissey's a pretty nice switch into Mega Pidgeot, but then he shows that Work Up, and I'm like, oh no, please don't be physical. Now, I've ran Work Up Mega Pidgeot before. I ran Refresh, Roost, Hurricane, and Work Up. That's the set I ran before, so I'm kind of worried about this. I do still have Mega Aerodactyl to outspeed it though, so I have that going for me, and I can still Stone Edge it because Mega Pidgeot has no guard. I'm able to never miss Stone Edge. So he gets a confuse on me. That kind of worries me as well. I go for Toxic just to make him forced to go for Refresh if he does want to go for that, and I know for a fact I can live a Hurricane at +1 from the range of Matt with Blissey. Like, he has to critical hit me to knock me out. The max roll I think is like 130 hit points for my Blissey. So as you can see, I'm able to live it. I snap out of confusion, and I'm able to get the soft boil up, which is crucial. He's able to just wall the crap out of his entire team, except for that Darmanitan, but he has to click Flare Blitz to knock me out, or Super Power, I guess, if he chooses to do that, but I can switch out and scout for that as well. So he actually doesn't refresh with his Mega Pidgeot. He goes into Umbreon, so maybe it's just going to be Heal Bell, Umbreon, Wish, Protect, and Foul Play is what I'm assuming this Umbreon to be. So I'm just going to switch out because I don't really have a reason to stay in. I might as well try and get my spikes up. I mean, I could Toxic him, but he has Synchronized, but I could just switch out and heal myself with the Natural Cure. So he actually shows Curse on his Umbreon, so I was like, oh, interesting. Not too worried about that because I do have Roar with my Chestnut. I roared out that Scizor before it, as you saw, so I'm not too worried about it. Then he shows Toxic, so I'm like, okay. Curse, Toxic, so I'm guessing this is like a max special defense. Curse, Umbreon to raise your defense, and I guess the last move will probably be just like a dark move. Maybe Payback, maybe Foul Play, I don't know. Could be anything really, so I just go for Synthesis because I want to keep Chestnut pretty healthy if I need it to be. Maybe if Darmanitan wants to click Flare Blitz, it's going to knock itself out with Recoil, and Chestnut will probably go down to Flare Blitz since it did over half to Mega Aerodactyl, most likely, and it is super effective. Darmanitan is just busted with this massive attack stat, so yeah. So I go for Roar just to get rid of that Umbreon because it's getting out of hand with those curses, and I roar into Lottie, so obviously I don't want to take a move from Lottie because Lottie could do a lot of damage to Draco Meteor or Psychic if it does have it. I did get a Spike Up, so that's why he goes for the Defog. I always bring in Blissey because I know Blissey can easily just wall the crap out of this Lottie. Dragonium Z, it's not going to be able to do anything. Even if he starts Calm Minding up, I can just throw off a Toxic, and he will have that Side Shock to be able to do some type of damage to me, and I think it would be too late before he can knock me out. So he goes into Moongus, able to wall the crap out of me. I decided to just go for the Heal Bell because I can get rid of the Toxic from Chestnut, as he goes for the Hidden Power Fire, which is not going to do anything. It's basically, I guess, trying to catch my maybe Magneton if I wanted to bring that in. Magneton is probably one of the best ways I can break through his team now since it is Choice Specs. I need to just click Flash Cannon and try and get some spikes up. That's my go-to plan for this moment at the battle. So he spores me, I mean, to be expected. Moongus is really there to just spore Blissey and then switch out and get Regenerator and just kind of stall out my PP for Seismic Toss. Like, that's the best thing you can really do. Or just switch out into Darmanitan and try to knock something out. I don't know. But that could be risky if I wake up. So I actually decided to go into Mega Aerodactyl. The main reason is because maybe he tries to go into, like, Pidgeot and starts working up again. Because I feel like he might try and do that. Even though it doesn't do as much damage, maybe he's going to try and, you know, Hurricane, confuse me or something. But unfortunately, he brought an Umbreon. I can't knock out Umbreon, so I switch out. And I don't want my Mega Aerodactyl to just be sacked to Umbreon from a Toxic. Even though I can't heal it, it's still, like, there's no point. I can just go back into Blissey. So I rarely ever use Blissey in Wi-Fi battles. The reason being, as you can see, it takes forever to, you know, finish the game. But LaFleur loves battling me, so I was like, I have this in my box for some odd reason. I don't know why I ever have a Blissey, but might as well use it. This is probably going to be the only time I ever use a Blissey or a Chansey in a Wi-Fi battle. I don't think I ever used it in the past 2 years, so might as well. Maybe somebody enjoys it. Probably not, but we'll see. I mean, I think a lot of people do enjoy a long Wi-Fi battle sometimes, you know, just to nice and chill and relax and see who wins. So, yeah. I mean, it's a really good team, too, if you want to use it in the UU tier. I mean, you'll get pretty high in the ladder if you use Blissey, so it's up to you if you want to find those long games. But at the same time, Hyper Offense, I think, is the way to go for Wi-Fi battling. Either way, because it's a little bit more entertaining. We got Spike Up. I go back into Chestnut on Umbreon because that's my best way of dealing with Umbreon, just roaring it out, get some hazards up. Even though if he does Toxic me, that's fine. I do have Heal Bell at the end of the day, and he is Toxic with his Umbreon, so it is getting whittled down. So this Chestnut does have Wood Hammer, and instead of Drain Punch, it's at least Wood Hammer is able to hit everything instead of Drain Punch being walled by Ghost types. And Wood Hammer is a pretty nice stab move as well. Like, it does a decent chunk to some Pokemon. So I roar him as he wished, and he brought in Mega Pidgeot, and then unfortunately, he brought in Darmanitan, and I'm like, oh god, now this thing is back at like so much HP, where I was hoping it would just like, you know, go for a Flare Blitz and knock itself out 3 coils. So I'm like, alright, gotta sack a Pokemon, let's go to Magneton. Hope he goes for Flare Blitz, but he actually didn't. He go for U-turn, so I didn't expect that. I felt like Flare Blitz was like pretty free there. I guess he was scared that maybe I'd go into Mega Aerodactyl as a sack and he takes recoil, something like that, and then maybe, I don't know, I sack another Pokemon like Magneton and he'll just get knocked out by recoil. I'm not too sure what his game plan was with Darmanitan. I feel like it would have definitely sped up the game if he just clicked Flare Blitz though. But maybe he just wanted to keep it just in case, like maybe I mess up with my Pokemon, and then he can just for sure just sweep me with a Scarf Darmanitan, something like that. He's just playing it safe, I'm assuming, at least, and not just clicking buttons. But either way, I'm going to start clicking buttons because I go hard in Magneton as he brought in Lottie. He spores me, I can easily just always switch out Blissey. I mean, even if you hidden power fires me, I could take that, and I mean, I could just Volt Switch on out if I'm scared. I don't have Wish, unfortunately, with Blissey, so I can't heal back my Pokemon, so I gotta be careful of them taking damage. So he actually goes for the defog, gets rid of Spike, and I get some crucial damage on Lottie with that Flash Cannon. As you can see, it's a 2-shot. So Amoonguss comes in, and Amoonguss is gonna take a decent chunk from the Flash Cannon. It does over half too. So I'm like, okay, I pray that this Flash Cannon can knock out Amoonguss. I don't know if it can. I didn't calc it. I'm just going for it, and unfortunately, the Amoonguss lives on a sliver of HP, and yeah, it just really sucked because I was like, oh, if I get rid of Amoonguss, Blissey literally just wins. So, gonna switch out Magneton back into Blissey. And I'm able to heal Bell if I want to with Magneton. But he brought in the Darmanitan, and I'm like, oh, crap. Alright, we're gonna sack Chestnut now because Chestnut, you're not looking too useful. No, I sacked Magneton actually, but I start switching in Chestnut after I lose Magneton because he goes for a superpower that would definitely blow back Blissey. And Magneton was asleep, so I was like, alright, might as well sack Magneton. Even though it was like one of the best Pokemon to just come in and click Flash Cannon, I feel like Chestnut would be a lot better. So I go into Aerodactyl over here because I know for a fact I can take a -1 superpower, and I go for Pursuit because maybe at -2 defense it can knock out the Darmanitan. I'm just praying it does. But nope, it lives on a slither of HP. Man, not slither, sliver. Slither is slithering like a snake. Sliver. So that kind of really sucks. Everything's just living on a sliver of HP. Jesus Christ. And I just go back into Blissey because I don't want to sack just Mega Aerodactyl to that for no reason. I know Blissey can take the -2 superpower, and I mean, if he crits me, whatever. He already got a crit with the Krookodile, so I mean, it'll just speed up the game. It's fine, whatever. I'm just doing this for fun. It's not like a tournament game. I know, right? Using Blissey for fun? I don't know. LaFleur likes it, so might as well have a fun battle with him. He likes long battles, so I think he used Chansey before against me a lot, or you know, some other like Stally Pokemon back in the day, a few months ago. So yeah, I go back into Blissey as Umbreon comes out. Might as well just start Seismic Tossing it. I don't care if he Toxics me. He can't really knock me out as well. And I could just heal Bell at the last turn of Toxic, where it would knock out Umbreon. But he is gonna get a Wish off, which is pretty important because he is able to wish back his Lottie, and that dang Lottie is going to be annoying to knock out, let me tell you, because Chestnut's not going to be able to touch it at all with the spikes. This is where I wish I had Stealth Rocks, but I mean, Lottie did have Defog, but I'm guessing the Lottie did not have Recover, because you guys will see it has Draco Meteor, Thunderbolt, and Psychic with Defog, so no Recover at all. Interesting sets LaFleur has, definitely, but it definitely caught me off guard. It's too bad Reuniclus did not. Like, Reuniclus could definitely just like win the game for sure, start palm lining up, but I just did not expect Dragonium Z to pop up from that Lottie when he Defogged. So I go for the Seismic Toss. I really should have just Toxic because Seismic Tossing doesn't really guarantee residual damage on Lottie, where it would really help for Chestnut. If he just keeps on bringing back in the Lottie, it just whittles him down. So I kind of misplayed right there. I really should have just Toxic. So now I try to Toxic, but he brought in Amoonguss, and I was like, dang it, man, I should just Seismic Toss right there, because then I would have able to 2-shot Amoonguss, and then maybe I could have predicted him to go into the Lottie, and then I could have Toxic'd him. So really sucks right there. So at this point, I think I should speed it up because this is where it gets kind of repetitive, where we just switch back and forth over and over again. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit right now because we just keep switching back and forth. He gets his regenerated with Amoonguss. He tries to bring in Darmanitan over and over again. But honestly, he should just click Flare Blitz. I don't know why he's not. It would really just speed up the process. Because he would knock out Chestnut. I mean, yeah, granted, he would knock out his Darmanitan. I would have Blissey and Aerodactyl left. He only has Lottie and Amoonguss, and I think Pidgeot left, I'm pretty sure. Either way, I think it would definitely speed up the process, because he could literally just click Flare Blitz. But, I mean, he's giving me a shot, so, I mean, might as well take it. So, I'm going to definitely keep switching around, trying to get my spikes up, and then try and get a Toxic off on that Lottie. Like, that's what I'm trying to do, but It looks like he's not allowing me. Like, maybe I could catch him off guard. So I'm going to go an Aerodactyl, trying to catch him off guard with a Spore, and hope that Mega Aerodactyl can be my Spore fodder so that Blissey cannot get Spored again, so I can just keep clicking Seismic Toss and Toxic. But he caught me right there with Hidden Power Fire, so kudos to Lafleur right there. We're going to have a lot longer game, but that's fine. So Blissey gets Spored. I'm not really too worried with the Amoonguss, sporing me. I can just switch out back into Chestnut. I can take anything because Chestnut will take the Hidden Power Fire. I decided to just stay in because might as well burn the sleep turn. He's going to waste PP if he decides to. Maybe he decides to just finally click Superpower against me, and Chestnut can take that. Maybe he's just scared of Spiky Shield on my Chestnut. I don't know. He could be just scared of that, and he doesn't want to lose his Darmanitan to his Spiky Shield because he hasn't seen all my moves with Chestnut. I haven't shown Woodhammer yet, so. In comes finally the Mega Pidgeot. Starts working up, so I guess he's finally going to try and confuse hacks me, but Toxic is racking up, and I can just go for a Seismic Toss and he'll get knocked out by Toxic, so he's going to really have to hope for like a critical hit confusion for Blissey, but unfortunately no crit, no confusion. Down the Mega Pidgeot is going to go to the Seismic Toss and Toxic right there. So Blissey is just so hard to break through. I mean, maybe he could do it if I stayed in with his Darmanitan out, but nope, I'm not allowing that. He's going to continuously U-turn though, whittling down my Chestnut, but I mean, whatever he goes into, I'm going to try and sense this up. Except for the Lottie, because that thing could knock me out with the Psychic. So, I'm going to switch out. But he brought in the Darmanitan again, so he's really trying to bring in that Darmanitan over and over again, trying to U-turn, all that jazz. But still, I'm going to go back into Chestnut over and over again, because I am not allowing him to knock out my Blissey. So, he finally goes for the Superpower, but Chestnut is a bulky mother truck of Max defense. It is not enough to knock me out. So, finally, I can able to get off a Spike. And now he's forced to defog, and then I think I go for Woodhammer somewhere because I predict him to stay in and try and defog, but not at this moment. So, because I was really scared of the Psychic. Like, he might just think I want to go for Synthesis because Chestnut was really, really low at that point. So, over here, he's scared of the Toxic, obviously, so he switches out Lottie. He doesn't want the Lottie to get Toxic because once I get the Toxic off, then it's game over because then I could literally just keep on switching back and forth, and Blissey would literally just win the game because, I mean, even if he knocks out Chestnut, like, Blissey just sits there, it does nothing. Like, he can't knock me out with the Amoonguss. Lottie can't knock me out. His only way of knocking out Blissey is the Darmanitan. So it doesn't make sense. He doesn't want to just sack it. But I got that Spike up, and I finally got the Synthesis off when he brought in the Amoonguss, so that's really good for me. He goes for the defog. I make the risky play of going for the Woodhammer, but I was like, I need to get some damage up on this Lottie. He just keeps on switching in back and forth. I need to start hitting it hard. So I go for Woodhammer. It does barely anything, but still, it's damage. Damage is damage. So I go back into Blissey. Obviously, I don't want to take a Psychic, but he makes that read and goes back to Amoonguss. But I'm going to go back into Chestnut because I want to, stop my Blissey from getting Spored, and I want to get Spikes back up because I know I can take a Hidden Power Fire. And although I am losing out PP on Synthesis, I didn't use too much, so I think I have like 5 or 4 left. So even if he Hidden Powers me over and over again, at least I'm getting Spikes up. And I go for Roar, and I get lucky right there with that Darmanitan, and down he goes to that Spike right there. So that is beautiful. That was what I was trying to get, is that Spike up and then Roar so that Darmanitan can come in and die to that Spike. So that's what I got. So now Blissey kind of just wins. I just need him to pretty much, like, I need to catch him pretty much with the Lottie, like with a Toxic, or maybe I just stay in with the Amoonguss and I just start side tossing him. I don't even care if he Spores. But I also do want to get the Spikes up, because if I get all 3 layers of Spikes and he's not able to defog, then it's going to be a nice time with Blissey side tossing, because he could try and get the Regenerator back with Amoonguss, but he's going to take that 3 layers of Spikes over and over again. And he definitely does not want his Lottie to get Toxic or side tossed again, because it could be put in range from a Woodhammer, and he definitely does not want that. So he finally goes for the Spore after he goes for a few side tosses, putting him in range for very close. So now I go back into Chestnut because I am kind of trying to get that natural clear, and maybe he will try and go for a Psychic and just like be scared of me going for a Woodhammer or a Scythe Synthesis. So there it is. He does go for the Psychic. I got him right there, and I keep my Spikes up. So I'm able to try and go for a Toxic, but I think I go for Side Toss because I definitely think that Amoonguss is coming in. Like, he keeps on bringing it over and over again. So I do get that read right. Get that Side Toss in on the Amoonguss, keep on whittling it down over and over again. I think I go for another Seismic Toss as he does go into the Lottie. So Lottie is getting whittled down even more. He was pretty scared, I guess, of Amoonguss getting whittled down. But still, the Spikes are up. I'm able to whittle down that Amoonguss every single time it comes in. And Lottie is not able to take another Seismic Toss, and maybe not even a Woodhammer. So once that thing goes down, Amoonguss is the only Pokemon left, and it will finally, hopefully, go down to Seismic Tosses. Or maybe a Woodhammer. Probably not. I'll have to knock it out with Seismic Tosses. So I got to be careful with my PP for Seismic Toss. because then it'll just come down to PP stall. But I mean, the timer is going down either way, and I think I win regardless if the timer went down, because Blissey, it matters about the HP, how much HP you have left, and whoever has the most HP wins the game at the timer stall. But I'm not going for timer stall. I'm trying to win the game and trying to knock out this Pokemon. So I go for spikes, trying to, you know, get all 3 layers so that every time Amoonguss comes in trying to get that regenerator, it's going to get that 3-layer spike damage, and it's not going to appreciate it at all. He's trying to go for the hidden power fires, which is fine. I mean, you know, he gets a crit right there, does a decent amount. I mean, I do have synthesis still. I guess he's really not trying to go into the Lottie because, I mean, I could just wood hammer and just bop it real quick and knock it out. But at the same time, if you go for psychic and I go into Blissey, then he just spikes my Blissey for no reason, and then he's forced to just sack his Lottie or go into Amoonguss, take spikes damage, and then take the Seismic Toss damage. So he's really, really scared of that, I'm assuming. Or he's just trying to stay in and just trying to knock out Chestnut and lower my PP with Synthesis. So he finally goes for the Spore with the Blissey. I'm just going to stay in and just hope that I wake up and knock him out. Well, actually, no, not yet. I go switch on to Chestnut. Then I do that again. Because I guess I want to try and get that natural cure, go back into Blissey, and, you know, start Seismic Tossing him in over and over again. So switch out, Chestnut, Blissey. And I think this is where I do it now. Because, you know, I did this over and over again. I forget where the part was, because it's getting pretty close. We only have like 10 more turns left. So, Seismic Toss him, he goes for Spore, and I think this is where, I'm pretty sure, I stay in, and I try and wake up versus the Lottie, because he's forced to go for Defog if he wants to get rid of the spikes, and that's 2 turns where I can wake up, and that would be really bad for him. So he actually switches out Lottie, fearing the wake up right there, and I actually do wake up, so pretty lucky that he didn't go for the defog and I knock out Lottie, because once that happens, man, it's game over. I literally just stay in and Seismic Toss over and over again, and he would have to hope for like a million turns of sleep with Spore, which, I mean, he was only gaining Black Sludge recovery. I mean, he could Giga Drain and get some more recovery, but still, Seismic Toss is just doing too much damage. As you can see, Amoonguss is really, really low. He goes for the Spore, but I'm still going to stay in and try and knock out that Lottie and try and wake up. So, still asleep, but finally, when he switches out that Lottie, Amoonguss comes in, takes too much spikes damage, I wake up, and then go for the Seismic Toss, and that is going to be game, because Amoonguss can't take the Seismic Toss, Lottie can't take the Seismic Toss, it is game over now. So Blissey wins the game. And that, my folks, is the longest Wi-Fi battle I will upload. Maybe I'll have a longer one. This is 107 turns. Because Amoonguss does not be able to, you know, take a Seismic Toss after another Seismic Toss. Even if he Spores, it's not going to be able to. Like, I still have, I think, like 15, 13, I don't know, something like that. Seismic Tosses left, so yeah. Really came down to the wire. It sucks that my Crocodile got critted. I probably won't use Blissey or Chansey, ever. I don't think I ever used Chansey before. Maybe, I don't know. If you guys like it, I mean, I guess it's up to you. I mean, I don't mind. I just use it because LaFleur likes it. You know, he likes long battles. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. What do you guys think about longer games? I'm really interested to see what you guys think. I know for a fact that most people would probably like Hyper Offense and just like faster battles in general, but, you know, for a smaller audience that like longer battles and maybe Blissey stall, because this isn't really stall, but it is stall because, you know, if you have a Blissey, you're automatically stall, but it's technically not because the other Pokemon aren't stall. So it's pretty much like balance in a way, I would say. Because Reuniclus can Calm Mind set up, Magneton is offensive choice specs, Chestnut doesn't really stall with anything, it's just a physical tank. Crocodile Scarf and Aerodactyl is just 4 attacks, so really the only thing is just Blissey there. But I guess anything with Blissey or Chansey stall, so, you know, it's up to them to decide, I guess. So, yeah, that's gonna be it. And GG to LaFleur. Heck of a game. Long battle. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.